Only thing matter right now is living right now, and I can't spare no feelings.
Hey yo! It's your buddy, and right about now, I'm back with another video for you. Let's get right into it. No car park, come on, let's go. Okay, so now this information that I'm finna share to you is not supposed to be news to you unless you live under a rock. Now, since the announcement of the headliner of the Super Bowl halftime show, you feel me, which happened to be Kendrick Lamar, there was a whole lot of fuse in the American music industry, particularly from Lil Wayne's camp. Now, Lil Wayne himself came out or has been out several times since 2 months ago to, basically cry. There was a certain video where he talked about how he was just talking to his fans and expressing his disgust and dissatisfaction and disappointment of him thinking, oh, since it's New Orleans and since I'm so much of a legend, definitely there's no way it wasn't going to be me who's going to perform at the Super Bowl. Talk about how he has always dreamt of performing. Like, he basically been whining and talking about that shit for a long time. Like, even in his Louisiana fest, where he was given the key to the city, he was literally honored. But guess what? He still found a way to bring up the topic. Now, basically, I'm emphasizing the fact that Lil Wayne has been talking about this over and over and over again. I'm not even talking about the fact that a whole lot of artists, a whole lot of journalists, a whole lot of, entertainment personnel who fucked with Lil Wayne, they just said, oh, we know what this is. We've seen the script before. Jay-Z has beef and problems with Lil Wayne. So definitely because of the, the deep-state prejudice also that he's got for Kendrick Lamar against Lil Wayne as well, you know what? He's gonna opt for Kendrick Lamar over Lil Wayne. Like, everybody just felt like they knew, like they were part of the planners. Everybody felt so, like, absolutely sure. Now, what they seem to forget, or what they seem to have forgotten, is that you talking bad at Jay-Z and saying Lil Wayne was supposed to be there, you are indirectly shitting on Kendrick Lamar. Yes, you are, because he is definitely the man in the middle. He definitely was the one that was chosen to headline the show. And then you are saying Lil Wayne deserves it. Indirectly saying Kendrick Lamar does not deserve to be there. And Kendrick Lamar worked so hard this year, okay? Yes, you might say, oh, but this time he hasn't released an album yet. Yes, he worked smart instead of working hard. You feel me? So now, Kendrick Lamar finally came out on November 22, 2024 to, release a shocking album. Like, he didn't do no PRO, didn't chase no clouds, didn't inform anybody. All he did was release, the intro of the album. We thought, okay, this is kind of like the announcement. Maybe the album is going to come a day or two after. But an hour after the release of the intro, this nigga dropped 12 tracks, okay? Now, in one of the songs, he basically addressed the issue. Not really much of an address, but he said some things, did not necessarily diss Lil Wayne though, but he talked about the fact that actually when he was young, he used to look up to Lil Wayne. He said basically he used to bump in on Lil Wayne's album, which he titled The Carter 3. And then he said, at that time I was proud, the irony, my hard work made Lil Wayne fall. And then he went on to talk about the fact that the industry did not even congratulate him. Like, that really definitely would have been so bad for him to take. He said only Nas called him to congratulate him. And he said, well, anyways, it all happened in my face. Now, that's been gone. Lil Wayne comes out on Twitter to tweet in response to the verse Kendrick Lamar literally spoke about him and said, man, what the fuck I do? I just be chilling and they still come for my head. Let's not take kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep. I beg you all. No one really wants destruction. Not even me, but I shall destroy if disturbed. On me, love. Now, it's so crazy how coming from Lil Wayne, this is so serious, but me being at the receiving end is so funny to me. Like, nigga literally said, I shall destroy if disturbed. Like, bro, was that necessary? Or some real shit though? Now, just before I go to the various response, which basically almost everybody was in support of Kendrick Lamar. They were like, bro, you have been airing your views since the past 2 months. Kendrick just said a thing or two. He did not diss you at all. He just said how he felt. And like, bro, it's valid. It's valid. He can air his opinion and say what his emotions was like. Imagine you being called to do something. Instead of you to be congratulated, man, everyone was just shitting on you. That was how Kendrick felt, and that was what he basically said. Now, I just feel like Lil Wayne definitely is one of the most disrespected or not so respected legend of hip-hop, like, on some real shit. I don't know how he managed to get to this point, but I feel like at this stage of his career and at this level he has gotten to, Kendrick Lamar literally sees him as an icon, as his idol, from what Kendrick Lamar said. Like, all of this shit is not necessary. But right here are the response. You said the Super Bowl was taken from you when it wasn't promised in the first place, and never congratulating the artist who looked up to you and worked hard himself to get it. But now it's what the fuck I do, LOL. Another, bye, why you acting like you didn't make a whole vid crying about the Super Bowl? Plus Kendrick didn't even diss you, like he didn't say anything wrong. Another, chill Wayne, I don't want Kenny to smoke you, you're a legend. Bro, this is crazy. Lil Wayne got his own game, you feel me? And this one said, you cried over a halftime show that was never promised you just because you felt entitled to it like a little bitch. Like, the word is entitled. Lil Wayne felt entitled. He felt like, oh, it's New Orleans, I'm from there, so definitely it's me. Bro, nothing is promised. It was never promised you. Another, I can't believe you were busy crying all over podcasts over someone else headlining Super Bowl, but you expect him not to respond. You all young money cry babies are so funny, trying to play victim when you were busy crying for over 2 months, okay? And finally, there were numerous comments, like this shit went viral, but this is just a few. And finally, this one says, it's time to dust the mic and drop those 2013 rhymes. Do you see Lil Wayne, like, be honest, do you see Lil Wayne going head to head with Kendrick Lamar at this time? Like, no disrespect to Lil Wayne, he's a legend and all that, but Kendrick is in his prime on some real shit, no cap. Now, just before I wrap up this show, I'd like to share just a little bit of some records that Kendrick Lamar's album. Now, take note, he did not announce this album ahead of time, okay? But in a few hours, in few days, the album is going crazy all over the world. Like, people are talking about this. The album is basically the new trend, and it titles it GNX. And right here are a few of the records that I'm going to share with you. Chart letter says, Kendrick Lamar is #1 in global Spotify top artist chart for the first time this year, following GNX. He dethrones Taylor Swift. Okay, that's remarkable. Another, Kendrick Lamar becomes the first artist to earn 5 #1 singles on US Apple Music in 2024, with songs like that, Euphoria, Not Like Us, Whacked Up Morals, where he actually talked about Lil Wayne, and then Squabble Up. Another, Kendrick Lamar now simultaneously occupies the entire top 12 of US Apple Music with every song from GNX. Like, this is remarkable. And this is the one I find the most remarkable of them all, is Kendrick Lamar's GNX earns over 44 million first-day streams on the global Spotify chart. This represents its first 7 hours of tracking. Like, first 7 hours of tracking. With a midnight release, it could have opened with over 100 million. Like, no cap, on some real shit. This just goes to tell and spell how the greatness, or how great the person of Kendrick Lamar is. I just feel like this nigga is being fought a lot, but each time he comes out with the victory, okay? And so with this, I'm finna come to the end of this video. Kindly, please let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section right down below. Are you still like one of those persons who think, fuck it, call it entitlement or whatever, Lil Wayne is supposed to be headlining the Super Bowl halftime show? You feel me? Kendrick Lamar doesn't deserve it. Let me know on the comment section right down below. Or you feel like, you know, you're a strong supporter of K-Dot and you're like, whoa, what are these guys doing? Kendrick Lamar, no matter what you say or do, he's finna come on top. Let me know in the comment section right down below as well. With this, I'm finna say peace. It's your boy Young Gotti. No copper. Bye-bye.